Americans who needlessly suffer from a gradual hearing loss. But today, most of us can improve our hearing as easily as our eyesight with a tiny, sophisticated hearing aid from Beltone. It's remarkable, isn't it? That something so small can help us to enjoy life again. Can Beltone help you hear better? Probably. But the only way to know for sure is to have a free hearing test by a Beltone specialist. Beltone has been helping people hear better for nearly 50 years. So what are you waiting for? Call right now for this free hearing guide for yourself or someone you know. Find out if Beltone has the answer to your hearing problem.
To receive Beltone's free guide to better hearing, call toll-free 1-800-367-3700. That's 1-800-367-3700.
Wall Street's big crash on Monday is costing several corporate raiders quite a few dollars and cents. As Steve Young reports, things aren't getting any better.
Of all the corporate raiders, TWA's chairman Carl Icahn may have crashed the hardest Monday. TWA's stock plummeted nearly 6 points, forcing Icahn, who owns 73% of the company's 30 million shares, to scrub plans to take the company private. Icahn is out trolling for new targets. So are raiders Irwin Jacobs and Asher Edelman. To avoid being swallowed by the sharks, about 100 major companies have announced stock buyback plans in the past few days. The list includes Dayton Hudson, former target of the Haft family of Washington, which is believed to have lost $20 million on the aborted attempt. The Rohrer Group, a potential target of its largest shareholder, Alan Clore, is now negotiating with him to purchase his shares. And despite Irving Bank's 27% Monday plunge, the Bank of New York says its hostile takeover offer for Irving Bank still stands at the same price, $80 a share.
For corporate raider.
Rotterdam, Netherlands. The injury casts serious doubts on the future of the 25-year-old American. Georgia football coach Vince Dooley returned to the practice field just 2 days after having a pair of arteries near his heart unclogged. Dooley says he'll be on the sidelines when the Bulldogs tangle with Kentucky Saturday. Steve Getty, Headline Sports.
In the headline, Soviet leader Gorbachev indicated he will go to Washington to meet President Reagan. No date was announced for the possible summit. His remarks preceded a meeting with Secretary of State George Shultz. In last night's news conference, President Reagan warned Iran the U.S. would respond to provocative acts in the Persian Gulf. He also cautioned against panic on Wall Street and promised to work with Congress to cut the federal deficit. The New York Stock Exchange will close 2 hours early today, Monday and Tuesday, to help Wall Street deal with the backlog from heavy trading. And the Senate is scheduled to end debate, then vote on the Supreme Court nomination of Robert Bork. With the top stories, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Checking today's weather, clear skies over most of the Midwest and West. Rain showers from California across the southern and central Rockies. Snow flurries are forecast across the Great Lakes in northern New England. Storms also over the Gulf Coast and Texas. Highs in the 30s and 40s from North Dakota across the
This is a great place to go for the winter months. But they came back after spending several weeks in a very serious approach to this problem and approached me and said they thought that they had the answer to the quality problem in Amico chemicals. And they said basically it was my fault. They were very chagrined about that, and this is really a true story. But they sat in my office, I think, for about 20 minutes before they actually came out and said that the quality problems we were having in the company were really because of me. And I think they're 100% correct. And what they were trying to say, and it's something that we should all keep in mind, is that management sets the pace. You can be the kind of an operation that you want to be. So that if we were interested in being a first-class company in every regard, then it was up to us to make that decision. So we became very committed to this concept and have since sent about 400 people to Winter Park, all of the top management of the chemical company. We've trained over 5,000 people in the Quality Education Series, the QES, which I'm sure that all of you have gone through. We've also trained over 10,000 people in the Quality Awareness Experience. So we've reached practically everybody that we can reach that was on board at that point in time throughout the corporation. And to say that we are committed to this process is really an understatement. We've established our Quality Steering Committee at the management level. We have a Cost of Quality Committee, a Customer Committee, a Supplier Committee, and we're looking at every aspect of our business. And we are so pleased with some of the early results that we see that my only regret is that we didn't do it soon enough. But we are really well on the way, and it's something which I think is really key to our future. If we're successful at this, and I'm sure we will be, I know we're going to end up with happier customers than we have today. We're going to end up with people who are very proud to be with the company, and we're going to end up with a mutually beneficial operation so that customers and employees and management all gain together. And that's really the name of the game. So make no mistake about the fact that we are fully committed to this process. It is not a program for the 1980s. It is a way of life in Amico Chemicals, and I guess in that regard I can go back to that earlier statement, Ron, and say that we did hit on one thing which was correct, that quality is a way of life in Amico Chemicals, and it's something that we're going to be hinging our future on in a very big way. So I'd like to congratulate all of the people here in Amico Foam Products for moving ahead as rapidly as they have and doing it as genuinely serious as they have. You should all be congratulated and hopefully encouraged to make everything you can out of this quality process, because I truly believe that it is a way of life in the company and it's a secret to being successful in the future. I'd also like to thank each and every one of our customers for joining us today. It's very important to us. You've all been very important to us. Thank you for your past business. I'll thank you in advance for all your future business, which I hope will be even greater. I'd also like to very seriously thank you for your patience through some of the learning experiences we've had over the last several years. We can grow together in this regard, and I'm sure that working together, that we'll both be happier as a result in the long run. So thanks for being here.
The result of the total effort is measurable and very encouraging, as quality or conformance to requirements has gone up, our costs have gone down. I've got a chart I'd like to show you here. This chart is a measure of operating efficiency compared to plan. The term operating efficiency refers to planned costs for labor utilization, plant and machinery operations, and raw material and packaging consumption. In 1985, during the first months of 1984, we operated at 91.5% of the plan, as shown on the chart. During 1985, we achieved 96.2% of our plan. For the first 9 months of 1986, we are at 99.5% of our plan. The next chart shows the effects of our progress. It also indicates that we have room for further improvement. This chart is a cost of quality comparison for Amico Foam Products Company for the first 8 months of 1986 compared with the same period in 1985. The overall cost of quality that you see for 1985 amounted to 16.4 of our sales dollar, or our sales revenue. The cost of conformance, or the cost necessary to do things right, amounted to 5.8%. The additional cost, in the green that you see there, of 10.6% was related to the price of nonconformance, or the price related to the things we didn't do the way we had planned them. During 1986, we have improved to a 13.4% cost of quality. The price of conformance has gone down slightly to 5.6%, while it's maintained pretty much the same in dollars, while the price of nonconformance has decreased to 7.7%. This increase in productivity reduced our costs during the first 8 months of 1986 by $2.6 million. We are looking forward to further improvements through our team efforts. The quality process is helping us to develop a solid company culture based on performance. We have proven to ourselves that improved quality means lower cost. Thank you.
To help define where Amico Foam needs to go from here, I'd like to introduce the president of Amico Foam Products and my boss, John Giroux.
Good morning. I hope you can hear me back there. Let me first thank you, Warren, and I'd like to begin by thanking all of you who've made today possible. I'm consistently impressed with the performance of an awful lot of people here, and today seems to be no exception. I want to echo one more time the thanks to our customers. Today would be awfully weak if you weren't here. We appreciate it very much. And I think it shows we've done the job right the first time. I want to especially thank the people who've made presentations today. I've listened to an awful lot of presentations on quality over the last couple of years. The amazing thing is, I've never run across anyone who, having listened carefully to the principles of quality and this process, doesn't totally agree with them. These principles are simple. I can get this thing going right. The definition of quality and quality management, conformance to requirements. The system is prevention. The performance standard is error-free performance. And the measurement, as Connie showed you, is the price of nonconformance. These principles make sense. They're good business. If it's so obvious and the formula is so simple, why aren't there all winners out there? There aren't all winners out there because winners are those who have committed themselves and their entire organizations to the implementation of this process. The losers talk about it, the winners do it. The success is in the doing, but the doing doesn't happen until the commitment is made. I guess quality improvement is a little bit like trying to break a bad habit. It just won't happen until the individual makes the commitment to stop. John Peterson's grinning because he knows how hard I'm trying to quit smoking. Amico Foam made a commitment to quality improvement in 1984 when we began to implement this process. That commitment was documented for all of us, our customers and our suppliers, for everybody to see. The policy reads, the goal of Amico Foam Products Company is the delivery of competitively priced products and services that meet the requirements of our customers. Do it right the first time is our standard of performance. Since 1984, we've made improvements. Conrad Mazur showed you that our cost of quality has gone down dramatically. Certainly this accomplishment has much to do with our current success. The result of this improvement goes beyond just numbers. It means satisfied customers. It means happy employees who know they're contributing to a success. But we have a long way to go. There is still much more that we have to do. The journey has only begun. How do we get better? Only one way, and that way is with the total commitment of the entire Amico Foam team. Let's listen to our customers. You heard McDonald's tell about how important quality is in their culture. And Neil echoed the requirement for conformance to requirements. General Motors, it was very clear what Joe said. It's people. It's each and every one of you. And finally, the need to define requirements that was explained by the Holly Farms folks. Our own people have told us of their experiences and how they're convinced that this process really works. The evidence is all around us. Our success depends in a great part on how well we further implement this quality process. What is your role? First, commit. Second, participate. And third, communicate. Commitment without action, as several of the speakers said, means nothing. And through communication, you can share the success you're having personally with the rest of the nearly 1,500 Amico Foam employees who aren't here today. Each of you have a lot to be proud of. We're a successful company, but we can and we will do better. And the way to get better is through the quality improvement process. And getting better is the only way that we're going to be the best that we can be. Thank you.
We find that our best performances have occurred when we clearly understand requirements and can effectively communicate those requirements to others. On the other hand, our biggest problems have occurred when requirements are not understood, are undefined, or are not followed for whatever reason. I'm sure these statements create vivid pictures in the minds of all of us relating to specific examples. Most often, when we think of requirements, we think of those coming directly from our customers. But within our manufacturing plants, we also have process requirements. The primary process involved is extrusion, where we change plastic pellets and other materials into the sheet needed for our customers' products. The extrusion process is our basic building block. If we don't do it right here, it is not possible to provide the product quality we need to satisfy our customers. The extrusion equipment and process, the raw materials, and the people involved are the common ingredient needed to supply General Motors, Holly Farms, McDonald's, Persico, and all of our customers. We have therefore placed a great deal of emphasis in applying the quality process to our extrusion process. I am pleased to report that a lot of progress has been made. This has truly been a team effort. Requirements were set based on customer needs and process capability. Equipment has been modified to improve performance. We are improving our plant training facilities and capabilities. We are training our plant operators in statistics. We have asked for their involvement in the process. The response from our people has been excellent. We have worked with our raw material suppliers as well. Amico Polymers supplies us most of the polymer used by our operations. We have worked closely to define and communicate the polymer requirements needed by our operations. Our polymer supply has improved. This effort is continuing. Representatives of Amico Polymers are with us here today to join in our commitment to quality. The result of the total effort is measurable and very encouraging.